So I know this video might be coming somewhat out of left field because I don't often really talk about YouTube Shorts or acknowledge it in any way, but I think it's about time that we finally come together and talk about YouTube Shorts as a platform, if you want to consider it that, because in my opinion, YouTube Shorts is absolutely garbage. So YouTube Shorts has now been a thing for almost 2 full years. In September 2020, YouTube finally came out with YouTube Shorts, which, if we're being honest, is essentially YouTube's answer to the rise of TikTok and short-form video content becoming dominant on the internet. Basically, YouTube has been dominating the video industry online for well over a decade at this point, and they see a platform like TikTok come in, shake everything up, do something new, and of course start eating into that attention that YouTube was getting. And well, as any good business would, YouTube responded. But unfortunately, they did not respond with, I would say, their best effort. YouTube Shorts is a terrible response to YouTube's problems. It's actually bad. Like, objectively bad. So first off, let's talk about why YouTube Shorts exists in the first place. Now, obviously, it's because TikTok, right? I mean, let's get real here. You know, Facebook wasn't the ones that popularized short-form video content, and to a certain extent, it wasn't even really TikTok that did either. Of course, you had Vine, which existed so long ago. Wow, it's been long. It's been a long time since Vine was actually prevalent. That's crazy. It feels like it was just yesterday. I don't know, the nostalgia just randomly hit, but Vine, at least to many people around me and to myself, was like our first major introduction to short form content online. It was refreshing, it was something new, it spawned countless internet memes and trends and whatnot, and of course now Vine doesn't exist and TikTok is the big dog on the block when it comes to short form content. Now when TikTok started its meteoric rise, one of the fastest rises of any social media platform in history, obviously YouTube wanted in on it, right? And they, well, created YouTube Shorts, and to be fair, it's not like YouTube is the only platform that copied TikTok. For instance, Facebook and Instagram have their Reels feature, which is essentially the same thing as a TikTok. And then, of course, Snapchat now has, what is it called, like the Spotlight or something? Pretty much every social media at this point is copying TikTok to a certain extent, right? Because this is just the direction that video content and users have taken. It's just the direction that everything is kind of going in, and it's more or less you either hop on board or you get left behind kind of thing. No one wants to be the next MySpace, right? And with that, obviously the gamble has been on this short form content, you know, these 4-second long clips or whatever. Now, I don't personally have a problem with short form content, and I honestly don't even really hate TikTok. I am a daily user of TikTok, and while there's definitely a lot to criticize and a lot to be worried about with the platform, these are all basically the same concerns to a certain extent that you have with other social media platforms. Personally, I enjoy the content I see on TikTok. I've used it for long enough now that the platform kind of caters content to my likes. So I actually see relevant content on TikTok, and that's one of my major problems with YouTube Shorts. The content absolutely fucking sucks. Now, a lot of people love to criticize TikTok content, and rightfully so. I'm one of the most vocal critics maybe of TikTok content that you're ever going to see. I have made literally dozens of videos mocking TikTok trends, videos from TikTok, plenty of things. But from my experience between both platforms, and I've used both a significant portion at this point, right? TikTok is just simply better at curating content. The same goes for other platforms like Instagram/Facebook, and of course also with the Snapchat Spotlight shit or whatever too. They also don't provide any sort of relevant content to me, but this is a huge fault with YouTube's Shorts. I mean, it's just, the content there is terrible. I mean, essentially, YouTube Shorts is at the point now where the content that shows up on it is either A, Andrew Tate clips, which is kind of how like TikTok is now too, but B, random shit that I'm not involved with whatsoever, that I've never shown any interest in or anything, or C, it's the same shit I've already seen on TikTok 3 months ago. Original content on YouTube Shorts is just not worth watching, at least in my personal experience, if it even is original. I mean, most of the shit that I see on YouTube Shorts is just regurgitated old TikTok memes, trends that were viral months ago, you know what I mean? It's basically just regurgitated TikTok on YouTube. That's all Shorts really is. And once again, I understand why they did this. You know, they're trying to chase TikTok's tail at this point, try to, you know, widen the gap a little bit more between the user counts and whatnot. I understand, but shitting out out the worst possible version of TikTok ever and just rebranding it as, oh, hey, this is our YouTube version. We call it YouTube Shorts. This is not the answer to the problem. And through all the different ventures that YouTube has pushed to try to get people to make original content for the platform by offering bonuses to certain creators that create YouTube Shorts, or with YouTube constantly pushing it to the partners and people in the partner program and who have meetings with the platform, YouTube has consistently reminded us that YouTube Shorts is actually something that they're trying to pump life into, that they're trying to make a legitimate product out of. But yet the number one key and critical factor of such a platform is just horrible. The content on YouTube Shorts is literally not worth watching, at least to me personally. If I wanted to watch the same shit I was seeing on TikTok 4 months ago, I would just go back 4 months in my TikTok likes. Now, another big reason at least, that I kind of just really dislike YouTube Shorts is because it's such a generic clone. There is literally nothing unique about YouTube Shorts at all. It doesn't provide any sort of competitive advantage. It doesn't provide any sort of user advantage. There's no real reason for it to stand out from TikTok or Facebook Reels or any other sort of short form video content out there. It's just a shameless ripoff of TikTok. I mean, I don't find this to be a worthy excuse where they're just, oh, well, we had to compete. You know what I mean? We have to catch up with TikTok somehow. Let's just do what they're doing. YouTube is a billion-dollar company that is parented by one of the most influential corporations on the planet, that being Google. They pretty much have infinite money, what you can consider infinite money at least, you know what I mean? They have all the clout in the world, If they were really interested in it, YouTube Shorts could be better than TikTok. It already could have surpassed TikTok. But it hasn't, and that's because, at least in large part, because it's just a generic ripoff. From what I see, YouTube didn't spend the time to try to develop any cool features that make it stand out, or that make it worth using over TikTok. At this point, I kind of see YouTube's positioning on this as, well, you're going to use TikTok anyway, but we might as well put something out there that you can spend 35 seconds of your time on, just so we can get a piece of the pie as well. I mean, you look at like the user interface, even for YouTube Shorts, it's basically TikTok. The functionality is basically TikTok. The content is basically TikTok, except like stale bread TikTok, 4 months old stale bread TikTok. And what really sucks about this is, once again, YouTube is really pushing YouTube Shorts. YouTube almost talks about YouTube Shorts as if it's quite literally the future of YouTube. I can't tell you how many times, I've talked to like a YouTube representative or something, and the main piece of advice they have for me when it comes to being a content creator is, oh, you need to get into YouTube Shorts. It's so important for your channel growth. You need to get into YouTube Shorts to tap into new audiences. Yet at the same time, there's no incentive other than, oh, your channel can really grow really fast for anyone to use YouTube Shorts. For instance, you can use TikTok for pretty much anything. I mean, if you want to grow using TikTok, guess what? It actually is somehow way, way easier to grow on TikTok than it is to do on YouTube, as someone who has grown a respective following on both platforms. And TikTok is the platform everyone's already looking forward to anyway when it comes to this type of content. So basically, like, as a YouTube creator, the options that YouTube basically present to you are, you can pretty much revolve your entire career around making YouTube content and then supplement your growth with basically staying on the same platform, dipping back into the same pool of users and trying to grow an audience there. Or you can go and make YouTube content here like I do, long form content, and then use platforms like TikTok that are better than YouTube Shorts to grow with different audiences. You can supplement your brand and grow it across multiple platforms, so you never have to worry about YouTube's bullshit, aka demonetization or getting kicked off the platform. Like, it doesn't make sense. As a YouTube creator, grinding YouTube Shorts at the moment just doesn't make as much sense. Sure, yeah, it's a great way to grow, but it's less fun than making TikTok, and it makes you way more reliant on YouTube at the end of the day, which, if you've literally paid any attention at all to YouTube over the last 5 to 10 years, quite literally the last thing you want to do is become reliant on YouTube. So now, one of the big excuses that I kind of gave YouTube for a long time was, oh, it's a new feature. You know what I mean? When YouTube Shorts first came out, I mean, it was all right. I wasn't completely blown away by it or anything. And of course, I've had my own YouTube Shorts channel for this brand before, for the Optimus brand. But at the end of the day, man, It's been almost 2 years, and YouTube Shorts hasn't noticeably improved whatsoever from the day that it came out. As someone who used YouTube Shorts the first day it came out and also checked YouTube Shorts today before I recorded this video to confirm the problems that I had with it, it's pretty much no different. Like, there's no noticeable improvement to the product. There's not really any new features that are like worth mentioning or using. It's essentially the same bootleg shit that we've had for 2 years. So personally, I'm not a fan of YouTube Shorts. I'm not a fan of really any of the TikTok clones or features that are basically clones of TikTok, but YouTube Shorts might be the biggest failure of them all. Personally, I already knew that Facebook Reels probably wasn't gonna work out and beat TikTok because, I mean, I don't know. People I don't feel like go to Facebook for video content as much anyway. It's more of a YouTube/TikTok kind of thing because those are the two leaders in the different forms of content online. Plus, Facebook hasn't even come close to catching up with YouTube yet when it comes to the content that people are making anyway. At the end of it all, man, YouTube Shorts it's a platform that really could have a lot of potential. But instead of growing it to its full potential, developing new features and new reasons for people to use it, and actually incentivizing making interesting, engaging, original content, YouTube essentially encourages everybody to use the platform just like how TikTok's used, which already worked for a different company, and it's going to continue to work for a different company. But of course, it's kind of like the whole thing that social media has become, that this is an issue with. I mean, if we're being honest, every social media is just trying to rip each other off at this point. Every time there's any sort of innovation or new feature brought out by these companies, within 2 months, every single social media platform has that feature because they're all copy and pasting each other's work. There's no individuality or uniqueness to any social media platform, you know? Facebook used to be a place where you could connect with friends and family and have an online community almost, right? YouTube used to be an engaging video-based platform. Instagram used to be a fun social media meant to share photos and videos and images with your closest friends and family. Snapchat used to be a place where you could, of course, just show a little glimpse of your personal life to people that you're closest with at any given moment. But now they're all the same fucking thing. They all do the exact same thing, and YouTube Shorts is a glowing example of them all doing the same fucking thing. And none of them do any of this stuff good. They just copy and paste the feature and pray that it works better. But that's of course not how you make a better product. So with that being said, honestly, fuck YouTube Shorts. Until there's actually something worth doing with YouTube Shorts, I'm personally just not a fan of them. I mean, are they usable once again to grow your brand and to like help build your platform up? Yeah, I mean, sure, that's great and all, but as a user, an everyday user of the platform who just wants maybe a quick laugh or to learn something new, I consistently find that content towards my interests is extremely better and more prevalent on TikTok. The platform on TikTok is better. The features and UI on TikTok are better. Making content for TikTok is better. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of YouTube Shorts. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, not liking YouTube Shorts, and signing out.